struggling to pronounce French words? Do they seem confusing, inconsistent, and impossible? Good. Because today we are not going to run from this problem. We are going to fix it. If pronunciation seems hard, it's not because you are bad at French. It's only because no one explained to you how the French sounds work. And here's the truth. You cannot really reach the B2 level in French without mastering pronunciations. So here are a few pronunciation, consonants, and vowels that are normally pronounced incorrectly by most of the students. We begin with the first one, which is A. So A, when used in a word, it makes A sound, like chat and table. So for the second one, which is table, normally it is being pronounced as table, which is incorrect. So this is important to note that this letter over here has to make A sound. The second one, E with accent aigu. So this one makes A sound. Like we say in English, that's exactly the sound of this alphabet over here. Hence, the words afterwards are going to be pronounced as été, bébé, and café. So following this is E with exograph and exocircumflex. So these both make the sound that is equivalent to red in English. What does that mean? That means that the sound of these both alphabets is R. As in père, forêt, tête. So as you can notice, all of the E's that have the accent on top of them, they make air sound. After that, we move forward to E and Y. Both of these, even when pronounced separately as an alphabet, will make similar kind of sound. As in, the first one is going to be C, the second one is leaf, and the third one is stylo. Moving ahead, we have the word O. O is rose, forêt, mot. After that, E. E makes kind of similar sound to what it is in English. So, lune, lune, tu, and who. After that, we move forward to these both sounds. They both may be spelled differently but make very similar sound. As in, the first one is chaud and the second one is manteau. So, as you can notice, both the first one and the second one, they make O sound. If you go forward, OU, this makes O sound. As in, rouge, nu, bouche. Following this is the last one on this number, which is OI. OI makes OA sound. So these are the few sounds that can be a little bit confusing, especially for the beginners. Hence, you need to take them in account. The next list that we have is of consonants. The first one, which is H, isn't really pronounced in French. Hence, the first word becomes the second is hotel, and the third is ahiko. So you can notice that we do not pronounce H in French. The next word is R. This, I believe, is the most confusing sound because it doesn't really match to the sound created by many languages. So, the words over here, they're going to be rouge, Paris, frère. I would just like to let you know that it has to be pronounced from the end of your tongue and the beginning of your throat. It can be a little weird, but that's exactly how you pronounce this sound. Okay, the next one, S. S in French is pretty much equivalent to S in English. So what is the difference? The only difference is that if S is following a vowel and being followed by a vowel, that means if there's a vowel before and after S, it becomes the Z-ish sound. Hence, that means that the words written over here, like the first one, this is meso, meso. The second one, hose. So you can notice that there's a vowel in front, there's a vowel afterwards. Moving ahead, usage. Same thing, usage. Alright, after that, C. C makes the sound of k in French. However, if it is put in front of the vowels like e, e, and y, this makes the S sound. What that means is, like the first word, it is being followed by E. So this isn't going to make the k sound, it's going to make the s sound. So it becomes son. Moving ahead, the next one isn't really followed by any of the three. So this becomes café. Following, the last one, this is cœur. Again, not being followed by E, E, and Y. The next one is J. This one over here is going to be sounding girafe, garçon, gâteau. So, G, when followed by A, it makes the G sound. But when followed by the other vowels, it makes the J sound. Alright, the next one, GN. So this one is a little bit tricky. When G is followed by N, G isn't really pronounced. Hence, the sound made by this is equivalent to nie. Like the first word, it has T-A-G-N-E. G followed by N. So this becomes montagne. N-Y sound, montagne. Same thing, the second one is ligne. G followed by N. Okay, the last one is double L. So whenever you see that double L is being followed by a I, it kind of becomes silent and makes the E sound. As in, fille, bouteille, famille. However, this one has commonly many exceptions, like these two words over here that you can see in the end. Tranquille is followed by I and is LLE, the same thing as these three. However, over here the ILLE is pronounced. The same thing with the second one, wheel. Hence, you need to take care of these exceptions. Alright, I know it can be a little bit overwhelming, but a few more left. So these four over here on this page are pretty much similar. What I mean by that is, the first AN and AM, this makes A sound, as in enfant, lamp, sun. So the N and M is pronounced, however the sound is very minimal. The second one is IN, IM. So un, pain, vin, simple. The third one is en, homme. So non, pont, bon. Moving ahead, the last one is un and un. Both of them very similar. As in un, parfum. So you can see that even when they are being categorized in four different forms, they are pretty much similar. So now we are in the last part of the video, which is just these two pronunciations that can sometimes be a little bit tricky. So MENT, it is pretty much equivalent to making more sound, as in lentement, rapidement, heureusement. So lentement, lentement, rapidement, heureusement. The last one, TION, is sion, as in nation, attention, information. Alright, perfect. So let's test our understanding by this small paragraph. You have a minute to read it. So there you go. Alright, so let's see how this is pronounced. Monsieur Dupont habite dans une grande maison blanche. Il parle doucement avec sa famille pendant le printemps. Attention, les enfants jouent près du vieux bateau rouge. Il regarde les oiseaux qui volent au-dessous de l'eau. Alright, so if you got all of them correct and you can now pronounce and understand why the sounds change according to the alphabets and their formation, I think you're good to go. On y va.